Hi and welcome, Joe here at woollycottage.com. We're downstairs today because I want to give this new to me 1980s, late 80s, early 80s, at least after 82 anyway, because you can tell and you can date them by the spokes. I'll pop a picture up at the end of this video with a sort of a timeline of the different types of Ashford spinning wheels. Now, an Ashford spinning wheel I've never owned. I am a Krumsky girl. The wheels that I have are all Krumskys. I say all, I've got two. I've got a Prelude and I've got a Fantasia. The Fantasia was my first one. The Prelude I bought about 5-6 years ago. I do have a Haldane upstairs, but I still haven't managed to get around to getting a proper go with that. I've just been flat out this year, not really in the mood for spinning. But I spotted this at a shop in town that is a bit of one of those hippy dippy shops on one side and the gent dabbles in a bit of antiques on the other side. And I got this and 3 bobbins with a laser Kate, which has got a bar missing, which I'll have to try and figure that out and try and replace that at some point. Yeah, so she treadles absolutely lovely. So I have dated it, but then I've noticed this morning that there's Allen key holes in there. So roughly Allen keys at any time from the 1980s onwards, mid 80s. So I can't quite date it, but I do know that it's going to be an earlier one. It has been stained after it's been bought by whoever when they were putting it together, because it should be blonde, but it's not. It's a lot lighter than some of the versions that you can get. Usually really quite dark, unless that's the perception of the pictures that I've found. So yeah, and it's been varnished as well, and you can see that it's not done to a professional standard. So that to me gives me a clue that whoever's owned this previously have varnished it themselves and restained it, because there are little dribble marks on the top of the wheel, and there wouldn't be if it had been done professionally by Ashford. So yeah, so I'll have to give that a little bit of sand down just to give it a bit of a nicer look, so I don't have to see it. But I'll show you those as I go along. So what I thought, I've released a video that I put on Patreon beginning of the year, and it's about maintenance of a spinning wheel. And I thought you might be interested in seeing me over the next day or two get this up to working order. So I want to ideally replace the flyer hooks, trying to remove so much of the rust off the orifice as much as possible, give it a really good wash down. I daren't pull it apart with the keys, because inside the Allen key screws themselves, which I'll show you in a bit closer up, there's rust in there. The crank is quite heavily rusted, but it spins so smoothly, I don't think there's actually a problem on the inside of the wheel. I think a really good oil up afterwards would be perfect. I'm going to use a method to hopefully remove as much of the rust as I possibly can, using items from the house, which I'll talk you through in a bit. She needs a really good clean. I have got some special wood rejuvenator to put over the top of this as well. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'll grab the camera so you can have a look at what I really want to concentrate on. So there you can see one of the Allen keys there, and I just feel that the minute I try and move that, is the screw going to actually snap inside. As I'm not sure how old this is. It could be 20 years, it could be 15 years, it could be 30 odd years old. There you've got in there a lot of rust going on. So I'm going to use a paste, which I'm going to make up from things from the house, which I'll show you in a bit. So there's the mother of all. So she needs a really good clean up. I may get away with unscrewing that and giving a really good clean up, but I'm hoping that I should be able to just do it as it is. Now the flyer and the hooks are these are really rusted. I've taken off some on the other side and I've got some replacement hooks, and you can see what I mean about the varnish is all bubbled. So that to me gives a massive clue that somebody's stained it when they've bought it and used a varnish stain. You can see that there's actually blonde sections there at the back end of the bobbin. So yeah, I've got a feeling that it was blonde, it was a pine colour beforehand, and they've just gone in with a stain afterwards, but they've not done the best stain job because of the amount of bubble section. It's just not a really great standard of finish. See, like here, it's not even been varnished on this section here at all. It's been stained, it's wear away, but there's no varnish on this bit here. There again, these dribble marks. So yeah, I'm going to presume, excuse the state of my fingernails, presume that this is a completely different colour underneath. There are sections around on the wheel where it has the same issue, the dribble marks up the top of there as well. So I'm going to treat it as it's been treated and rejuvenated itself. Now, the spoke up the top there, again, is really rusted. So I don't want to pull it apart on the odds that I ruin it, because it treadles like a dream. It's got the original leather thong in the Leaderman. And then if I took that out, is the pin going to snap? I don't know. You can see the rust on there, so it's obviously just been left in a shed at some point, but because of the way it just spins quite happily, it doesn't have any noise to it. So it's in really, I would say it's in pretty decent working order, but I think just for aesthetics, I think it could really do with a good scrub, a bit of love, and try and see if I can get a lot of the actual physical rust that I can see straight away on the areas that are working, and give it a bit of a clean up. That's all I'm intending on doing. I have got a new drive band coming. I've gone for the 2 meter option drive band because it's really big gap, and I wasn't sure which spinning wheel to go for. I could have reached out to the sellers that I bought them from for a bit of knowledge, but I thought, well, I'll just go for the fill 2 length 2 meter length polycord, and then seal it together. You get a little bar, which I'll show you how I do that, because I've bought that before for one of my Kromskis. I've also bought a new hook, an orifice hook for it, which I'm going to bling up, and I have got some new brass hooks to go on the flyer arm, and I have got some new Scotch tension springs as well, and the Scotch tension spring hooks and I both need replacing as well. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. I'm going to be doing this over the next couple of days. Excuse my dog over in the background. Iona licking, honestly, fireworks set my dogs off to licking themselves bald at the moment. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to be doing over the next couple of days. So I hope you find this video and content useful. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and like below, and I will catch you as I go along. I'll tell you what I'm up to. Right, so first I want to try and remove all the bits that I can from the wheel. So take out the flyer, hopefully will it come out? There we go. So there's the flyer. So take that off, and the actual internal workings of that is in really good nick. It has been looked after, and because it's obviously been covered over with the bobbin, it's kept it clean. But I do need to have a little workaround with this section here inside for the orifice and give that a really good scrub. So I'm going to stick that to one side for the moment. It's off and out my way. Now let's have a look. This is screwed into the base. Let me just see if I can get a screwdriver that might just tease honestly, it's always the same, isn't it? We bought a lot of screwdrivers of the week there, and he's hid them all. He's hidden them all. And all I've got is this little one, and it's not, there's no way this is going to move that. Honestly, men, wish they'd just leave things where I left them. I need a screwdriver. Right, bear with me a minute while I go and hunt one out. Always say. Right, let's see, what's the odd? I've got some machine oil here, some 3-in-1. I'm wondering if I squirt a little bit on here and just leave that for a minute. It might work. And I'm just going to scoot a little bit down in this hinge here as well. I know I'm going to clean them up, but I'm thinking if I just give that a little treatment now, then maybe when I go to clean the rust off, they'll actually clear it really, really well. So I'm just going to give that a little rub and let's have a go. Let's see if it'll actually move. Oh, yes. Oh. Oh, that's good. It is coming. I don't know when it was last. I'm going to presume it's never been moved off since it was bought. I'm going to try and see if this other side, otherwise there'd be no point going any further. There we go. Oh, come on. So I'm just using a little flathead screwdriver, or a Phillips is also known as. It's always the same when you ask your man for a screwdriver and you say, oh, I just want the flathead one. He's like, oh, that's a Phillips. I'm like, yeah, whatever, it's just a flathead. There we go. Just take my time on doing it because I really don't want to chance it snapping, which I don't think it's going to. It looks like it's okay. I do have some WD-40 around, but can I find it when I want it? No, of course I can't. So we're just going to undo that ever so slowly. Could probably do with a fatter head, but this will do for now because I've only got a little hand. And I've just found some Angelina. Some Angelina's come out from under the screw. Stuff gets everywhere, doesn't it, ladies and gents? Right. That looks good. That's promising. Will it come out with my fingers now? There we go. So one screw. I'm going to pop that down on the table there. Now, will this come off, or will it just need a bit of a... There we go. It just comes straight off. Perfect. Let's get this other one done. It'd be perfect if I can get this mother of all off and then put to one side, and we can give it a bit of a better clean than it would do if it was up on the wheel. And the screws, I can do a cleaning method which I will talk you through in a little bit. Oh crikey, that's that machine oil. It's so greasy, which is a good thing. Right, near as damn it done. Right, can you come off now just with my hand? Yes. Good lady. Yeah, good old lady. Right, let's just take this washer off while we're here. There we go. Just use the flat of my screwdriver. There we go. And lift that off in lovely condition underneath. I'm going to put that again to one side. This appears to be... No, it's got all its workings going on inside the actual screw for moving the flyer mother of all back and forth. And you can see the rust that I need to have a word with in a little while. So we'll pop that to one side. It's still got the price sticker on it. I'm going to move this laser Kate out my way as well. Right, what we're going to do next. Let me reposition you. Hopefully you can see from there. Okay, so we have taken off the mother of all. Needs a really good clean. I have got this stuff and I'm not advertising it at all. I use it because I've got fibromyalgia, and when I use chemicals in the house they can really give me bad migraines. So I use a cleaner called Method. It's all paraben free and things like that. It's a let me see made without parabens, safe on tile, stone, wood, glass and surfaces, cruelty free, bottle and excluding the triggers, made from 100% recycled plastic. It's non-ionic suffocants and perfumes. Yeah, it's one of those things that I actually really like using, and it doesn't give me any headaches. So it's called Method. So this is a multi-surface cleaner. So I'm just going to give it a spray across. I have got some soapy water, but this hopefully will help to remove the beginnings of the grease and loosen it off before I go any further. So I'm just going to spray it all over. Just to help me. And in my glass here I have got some warm water and a sponge with an abrasive scrubber on the bottom of it. I'm just gonna, and I've got my PVC tablecloth down because Phil would kill me. Phil would kill me because I'm a bugger for doing decorating in brand new clothes. It's the same when it comes to decorating and cleaning things as well. So I've got a PVC cover down on the table before anyone shouts at me. Excuse the mess. I am in the middle of doing a massive batch down for a massive shop drop in a couple of weeks for a virtual fair over my Instagram that I do every November, which if you don't mind, I'll tell you about it in a bit. Anyway, so that's on there soaking now. I have got my abrasive sponge and I'm genuinely just going to go in and gently start to clean any of the grime that may be on the wheel, on the frame, on the arms. Give it a really lovely scrub down. Don't need that at the moment. Try and get into those little grooves and nooks with the sponge. And I'm just going to give it a nice clean, and I'm going to start on the wheel now, in the groove as well as the spokes as well in a second, to get all that dust off from wherever it's been. Okay, now start on this section and then around the spokes. You can feel where the old varnish is catching on my sponge there as well. I'll just do the other side of the wheel. As I say, I'm just using a little bit of washing up liquid detergent. I don't want to use a strong abrasives. Just make sure all in these little nooks. And then come down the back of the frame, up the legs, do my Liederman and the foot treadle, up the back arms of the frame, Give that a really good clean inside the grooves here. And on the insides as well. And on the other side there. The varnish dribbles is really annoying me. I'm starting to see them everywhere now. I'm not a perfectionist, don't get me wrong, but when I do a job I want it done properly. And that's just really annoying me that there's dribble marks everywhere from the varnish. A bit of a rush job. Anyway, so that is done. I'm just going to go, oh, excuse me, sorry for walking past the camera. I'm just going to go and grab myself a soft cloth to wipe this down. I could use paper towel, but I'm just going to use a soft cloth for now to wipe this down, and it should soak up most of. A really good rub down, make sure there's no water left in the grooves where the screws and things are. Right, make sure everything's dried properly, then there's no excuse. See, the dirt's coming off with this, because I can get it to sit straight inside the little groups where the joins are in comparison to my sponge. But the sponge has done its job, it's loosened off the grime for me. But now I genuinely know that grime has been removed. Move those up the way. Make sure where the metal spokes meet the wood down here, where the metal spokes meet the wood on the other side, I'm just going to get my fold it over like that and make sure that it's dry and no wetness. Ooh. And then inside, and use the creases of my cloth to get right into those little grooves. And I'm going to, the dirt coming off that now. And now I'm going to get this again, and I'm going to go on this side where the metal bar is that sits on the pivot. Make sure that's dry too. I'll deal with the wheel in a minute. I just want to get all the legs dried off. And then I can go on to the next stage of what I need to do to clean this up. Let's get in those little grooves around the back. Everywhere where there's a join of wood, make sure that you just crease over your cloth that you're working with. To help just catch any moisture. In an ideal world, I would get my sand, and I may do that next year in the summer, get some sand down on this and some varnish remover or something and strip it right back. I may do that next year, because you can feel where the old varnish is starting to flake off, which is not a problem because you can still work with it. But I'd love to just give it a proper coat of varnish to give it a bit more longevity for the future, and just get rid of all this flaking varnish, which is a bit annoying. So there we go, halfway through, and I can feel my hands. Ooh. Sorry about that, I forgot all about you there. I can feel my hands are sticky. So in an ideal world, I really could do with giving it a light sand down and a re-varnish. or as I say, strip it completely. If there's something you'd like me to see me do next year in the summer when it's nice outside and I can do it out in the yard or the garden, then let me know and I will plan for that for next year. There we go. It looks a heck of a lot better now than it did. Okay, so that's where we're at with that. What I'm going to do now is help try and clean some of the rust off the metals, which I will sort now. We'll leave this down on the floor for a moment while I just do what I want to do. Okay, so next what I'm going to do is use some items from the house, from the kitchen, that I can use to actually clean up rust from items that you might have, knives at home, you might have gardening tools, you might have screws that you want to use, or you might be like me trying to remove the rust off things like this. Okay, so you've got the rust there and the rust on the end of there. So firstly what I need to do is take off the rest of my hooks off. I could put them in with the screws and the washers in a minute in another solution, but we'll do a solution on the mother of all and on the crank as well, because I can't access that, take it off. I'm going to do it by hand and create a paste. But first of all, I need to take these hooks off. I'm just going to use a little pair of pliers, like so, and I'm going to twist them off. So when I'm twisting them off, I need to go left. Is it left to right? Yeah. Take them off. It should be loose enough that I can do it by hand now on that one. Perfect. So that's one off. So I've already done it on the other side. I might as well do these while I'm here. Loosen them all off at the same time. These are just a little pair of jewellery wire snips that I use for when I'm making stitch markers. So it's a nice little handy set. If you're wondering, you can buy them literally for £1 or £2 from your hardware shop or from that online shop that we all know about, if you're wanting some little bits and pieces ideal for your tool kit. Who'd have thought that you needed bits of tools and stuff for using on your wool equipment? So I'm going to just now use my hands and unscrew them. One. Some of these are a little bit wonky, so I'm glad that I went and bought a set of new ones. You know, just little stainless steel ones at the end of the day, but I'll put them in that bowl anyway. There we go. So that needs a wash down, but what I'm going to do first is put them in a solution. So I've got this jug and it fits in perfectly. Now I'm going to use white vinegar, and I'm going to cover it up as much as I can to the point of at least that section there, but I definitely want that done. And I'm going to cover it in white vinegar. Now the white vinegar shouldn't do any damage to the fire at all, because it's just a distilled white vinegar. It's a household item. I can leave this overnight, which I'm going to do, and I'm quite literally going to pour it in the jug, and I need it covered over the top. Hopefully I'll have enough. Now if you don't have any white vinegar at home, you only have, say, apple cider vinegar or malt vinegar, they will do. You can use them. I've always got a bottle of white vinegar in because I make a lot of chutneys up. So I'm just going to leave that to soak. And what I will do later on is, because it's not completely covering the rest of the orifice on the back side, is I might go in with what some of the stuff that I'm going to make up now, and then I can put that on there. But there we go. So because it's a household item, household cleaner, it shouldn't do any damage. But at the end of the day, we could be actually this time next year dealing with, and I can actually see clouding coming off, grime in that coming off the actual flyer already. There's like little white cloud and particles coming from there now straight away, so that's good. So I'm going to literally put this to one side and I'm going to leave it overnight, because I did say at the beginning of this is a job that I'll be doing over the next 2 days. So I'm going to plop that over there inside of my kitchen. Next job I'm going to do, okay, so I'll talk you through a couple of different methods. I'm going to pop you down so you can see what I've got going on down here. So I've just got a big bowl. It's probably bigger than what I actually need, to be fair. I'm going to put that there, them in those screws. Okay, so I've got some bog standard baking powder, bicarb soda, and I'm going to sprinkle that over them. Okay, and I'm going to make a paste of this up, so I'm actually going to put a little bit more in. Now, you can add a little bit of water to this to make a paste, and then rub that all in, and you want to leave it for at least an hour, and then you should be able to start cleaning up. I'm just going to get some water now. Don't need a lot. I just want enough to make a paste like that, sort of creamy consistency, and then the bicarb will start doing its job like so, like that. Okay, so I'm going to make a paste up again, a little bit here. Just using my fingers because it's just easy, and you can see it frothing up now straight away. So what I want to do next is, I've got a little paintbrush, just a little paintbrush, and I want to paste this bicarb onto the hinges of my mother of all. Like so. On the hinges there, to help try and get some of this rust off. Like that. I'm going to put some on the washers underneath, because there's no point taking them off. We know the screws are fine, they don't need replacing underneath, but it's just a little bit of gratification knowing that you've tried your best to get it cleaned up as much as possible, like so. And you can see it foaming up because it's trying to do its job. And I'm going to leave that just for a couple of hours, and then I'll come back at it later on and give it a bit of a scrub with a wire wool brush. So we'll put that to one side over here. The next thing I need to work with is the crank on the spinning wheel itself. On this section here, on the crank arm there, try and move out your way so you can see. I'll just move my chair out and I'll come in it from behind. So what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to use some lemon and some salt. I just need to find my salt. How come you can never find the salt when you want it? There's my salt pig. I'm just going to put in a couple of tablespoons of salt into a little dish here in my hand, and I will need a knife as well. So I have got some salt in there, and then I'm going to get a bit of a normal piece of lemon. You can use the bottled lemon, it works just the same. Some Sif lemon juice from pancakes. If you've got any left over in the cupboard, you might as well use it up now. And then I'm gonna, just a small section, I'm gonna like squeeze that into my salt. Just to like, it's not even half of it. I just want a little bit of lemon juice so I can add it into this here, like so. And that'll melt that up. And then I'm going to add in just a dash of bicarb soda. Now you can just do the salt and lemon if that's all you've got in it. You've got no bicarb soda, that's fine. That'll work just the same. I'm going to make a paste up like that. And I want to paste it on the crank all the way around. It's safe, it's gentle, it's not going to do any harm to your wood. And I want to put some on the pin as well, all the way around there. Like that. And this one, again, you leave for a couple of hours. Come back to it. I'm not going to throw away my solution in case I need to do it again. And then that is quite literally all I'm going to do to it for this moment in time. Oh. So, while I'm on a little bit of an intermission, I will tell you about something that's happening in a couple of weeks' time since we're over on YouTube. I will do the second part of this video and I will film it tomorrow. This one I'll release today. The next part I will release next week for you. But I thought while I'm here and I've got your attention, if anyone follows me over on my Instagram, I do a virtual market, a festive virtual market on my Instagram channel. In the little round circle in the stories, it'll be highlighted. I do one every year and I have done for a couple of years now. And I will be doing that on Saturday at noon on Saturday the 22nd of November. So in 2 weeks time, this Saturday I think it is now. That's gone quick, hasn't it? Yeah. So in 2 weeks on Saturday, I will be doing a virtual market, and I just go up to my studio and it's I put Christmas decorations, stick the Christmas lights on, get you into that festive theme before it all goes Pete Tong and Bedlam over December month. And I do a bumper shop update. A really big one, as if I'm going to a wool fair, and I buy lots of other bits and pieces that I don't normally stock on the website, just so you've got pocket money or other ideas for adding in for Christmas presents, or ideas for yourself, or if you want to get your other half or your family members to go over to the website and order yourself something from there for you, then you're more than welcome. Now, I also do, while I'm doing the festive virtual market, is I do a bumper giveaway. Now, I have got 3 giveaways and I will tell you the rules to participate, okay? So the 3 bumper giveaways are 2 options of my Christmas Advents, my 4 Sundays of Advents, which you will see the videos coming up for those in December. You will get gifted 1 set of 4 by 100 gram art bats in the theme of It's All About the Teal. Or you may be gifted 4 grams of 100 grams of yarn, 4-ply yarn, again in this It's All About the Teal 4 Sundays of Advents. Both of those are worth £65, £65. They will be gift wrapped. You will not see what's in them until you receive them, and that's up to you whether you want to open them or not. They will not have any extra gifts in like they would do through the Christmas Advents, but you've got the exact same art bats or the exact same yarn as to what was sent out this year. Also, for the third gift that I'm giving away will be the exact same Christmas Art Day bat with the bag that I made this year to go with the 12 Days of Advent bat. So that'll be gifted as well. Now, for you to enter, if you would like to, it's not sponsored by anybody, it's just something that I do at the goodness of my heart to say thank you to all my customers every year, whether you're new or old. So from Friday the 21st of November, anyone who places an order from then until 6 p.m. on the Sunday the 23rd, so over that weekend, over my festive virtual market weekend, anyone who places an order, it's got to be £25 or more, will be entered into a draw that I will announce then at round about 6 p.m. on Sunday evening. So every order that goes in, your name will be put on a piece of paper and put into a hat. And Mr. Phil always picks the names out. Okay, so that's what happens, and I do it every year. Now, if you're overseas and your name's called out for one of the giveaways, then I will cover the extra post to go in with your order. If your order's quite large and I can't fit it in, then I will still cover the cost of that being posted out to you if you have won it. Okay, so I'm going with a theme of like Scandinavian winter mountains, winter forests, sort of cozy comfort in front of the fire, log cabins, the northern lights, galaxy sort of thing, stargazing, that sort of thing this year. So I've got loads, I've got 12 different blended rovings that are going, or 11 blended rovings and a super fine merino that'll be going onto the website in a couple of weeks' time. So things like Shetland Vatusa silk, bamboo tencel, merino tencel, merino bamboo, Polworth and flax, and a couple of others. I've also ordered in some yarns, so there'll be a little stock of some brand new yarns going onto the website in the same sort of colourway, all full ply though. So there'll be those going on. One's Polworth silk, one's superwash merino nylon, one's got golden stellina in. So each one of those is generally the same colour, but I do 2 of each. Same with the rovings as well. And then there'll be a nice selection of art bats will be going on the website to go with those, and loads of little bits and pieces from new little mini sewing scissors, embroidery scissors or whatever for in your bags. I've got some new fabrics to make up some new design project bags for this year as well. So there'll be a couple of new ones on there. There's quite a few on there at the moment, plus little pod bags. So there's loads of bits and pieces, and I just make you feel like you can ask me any questions or pull off any bats off the website and get me to show you what you've maybe got your eye on the website at the moment. I've also fluff rescues. I do them all year round, which are perfect for doing for Christmas, and they always arrive to you or to your friend if you want me to post an alternative address. Then we can do that, and it always arrives gift wrapped, and it's roughly about 200 grams, I think 200 grams to 250 grams. It's been a while since I've done one, and they come with a project bag, about 250 grams of wool and fibres, whether it's a mix of locks, art bats, carded bats, rovings. Those sort of things go in there. Plus I add in some extra little bits and goodies with some spa treats, some sweeties, some teas. So it's a perfect gift to either give to yourself that you don't know about because it'll be all gift wrapped when it gets there, or to a friend who you think needs cheered up for this Christmas. Anyway, that's it for me today. I will get the rest part of this video filmed later on today and tomorrow, and I'll release that next week for you to watch and see the results. We putting this all back together again, and the cleaning of the rust and everything off the items. So I think that's enough for now. Take care of yourselves, and I will catch you next week with the follow-up to this video. Bye for now.